Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Part 4 Oblivion. Where are we? What did we do last time? I don't
We
remember.
had some kind of epiphany.
Thieves Guild.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah,
we're
let's
doing
do
the Thieves Guild now?
Thieves
Yeah, let's do
Guild.
Thieves Guild.
Thieves Guild.
What about assassinations?
I mean, we'll get to
Are they
that
not
later.
the same guild?
Oh my god.
No, they are not the same guild. What do you
I told you, I played this game in a very different way than the rest
You
of
played
you guys.
Skyrim? Did you not play Skyrim?
I don't play thieves. I play good. I play good guys.
You play
You
good
have to do
guys?
Thieves Guild quests, or at least some of them.
Thieves could be good guys.
Skyrim. Or
Thieves
do
can
you
be good
actually? I
guys.
don't remember.
Thieves don't kill. Camster, that is the big difference. They don't kill. You don't get your money if you kill.
You look tough.
What do I want?
Training.
I don't.
beds, and good
I
heart.
haven't played the Thieves Guild quest in Oblivion, maybe ever, or at least not for a very long time. I don't remember how to start it.
Let me check.
Do you not just rob something the way you just kill somebody to start the Assassin's Guild?
You have to,
Okay, this
Like,
is a whole
get-
thing. Yes.
right.
Begin
Okay.
by reading one of the wanted posters that are littered everywhere around the Imperial City that shows the Grey
right,
Fox.
the Grey Fox shit.
Next, find a beggar and raise their deposition until they really like you. Then talk to them about the Grey Fox, and then tell them you want to join the Thieves Guild.
I'm not sure
That
I'm comfortable
seems-
equating like the unhoused with thieves.
No, it
Like
sucks.
Yeah, that's not great.
Why are we doing
Okay.
this?
There's a lot.
'Cause-
Okay, the Thieves Guild is cool.
The quests are good. I promise, Josh. The quests are good.
All right. Well, we know a beggar that likes us a lot.
What it's doing by tying beggars into the Thieves Guild is... It's weird. Okay, so here's the thing that's weird about Elder Scrolls world building. Is that it's often like there's a gesture towards something as historical, or like kind of something that at least comes from historical folklore, that then ends up going off on like a tangent that has nothing else to do with that thing.
Named the Grey Fox, who controls
And
all the thieves
kind of-
in Cyrodiil. Of course, it's all just made up.
What they're
to give
setting
them
up is
an
the
excuse
idea that
to
this
hunt
is,
us down.
above all else, like a kind of
Thank you.
underclass guild. Like a
we'll
guild
see.
for people who are, for one reason or another, are like on the margins of society.
Oh, I
And
like that.
there's
A
something
lot.
to that, and to the
Thank
idea of
you.
taking
You're
that and kind of
wasting
making
your
it
breath.
into like an organization like that. It basically
You're a
just
big
the
fat
fact that
liar.
it then has all of these mechanical implementations and mechanical
I'm not-
hooks where you're
oh,
then like
that's
gaining
great.
80 levels and becoming
It's a
like
fairy
super
tale.
rich in the process. Like that's where it gets
Yes.
weird.
I'll take that. And
It looks like your deposition is
looking for
maxed.
him?
What the fuck? Hold on.
It's it's the maximum that you can with your speechcraft at the current level.
Josh smells
But you
bad.
can continue. Oh, there you go.
What?
There you go. You got it. You got it.
What did I do?
No, you got it. I thought that you couldn't trigger this conversation, so I was looking up if I
I
was
think I trust you
incorrect,
enough
but I
to
wasn't
tell you
incorrect
this
on that.
secret.
I showed up
To
to
learn
steal
more
your
about
bed
the Grey
like
Fox,
3 times.
Go to the
But you
Garden
trust
of
me
Derelot
'cause I
at
talked to you.
midnight. Look in the waterfront district of the Imperial City. I can say no more.
Daraloth.
We're all talking.
Cool.
Alright,
Is this better than walking into Riften and the guy's like, "Hello there, lads."
yes. Nothing is worse than that.
What is it, citizen?
It's like it's very true that you don't want a thieves guild in this game to feel like actual real or historical organized crime, because the basic framework of how how organized crime works is just like everyone is screwing over everybody else, and that's not very fun.
Children are starving.
So this game
there's a lot
does.
of- I was gonna say that like organized crime actually operates a lot better like the mages guilds in this.
Yeah,
Like if
a
you
little
want,
bit.
If you want to know how organized crime, not that I would know, not that I have
It's
any
like,
personal
we're all friends
experience.
here. We all obey the rules. That's the important part. Anyway, we all murdered each other this week,
Yes,
so we're a little understaffed.
we all hate each other. And also, like, they'll hurt each other for just the dumbest shit. Like, the smallest offense could cause an entire ripple through organized crime.
Right. It's a bunch of like people above you telling you that there exist all these codes and rules, which make it very important that you don't betray them. And as long as you follow those, you'll totally be taken care of. And then like it's fucking Charlie Brown the football every single time.
Criminal.
Yeah, it is. And what's that? Whose line is it anyway? It's like the rules don't matter. The points are made up and the rules don't matter. Yeah. So it's much better. This is much better. It's sort of like...
So, yeah.
I like how... Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't really have anything I was going with that.
I was going to say, I know that we all hate the recruiting mission for the Thieves Guild in Skyrim, and for good reason. But I like how the Thieves Guild in Skyrim are, like, connected to a god, kind of. The way that the Brotherhood is. And so it kind of has its own thing instead. Whereas, like... Instead of just being like, we all love to steal stuff, it's like, we're stealing stuff because we get special powers from a god.
I don't 100% remember all of it, but this game is about as good as as the Elder Scrolls gets Thieves Guilds, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, this is
also
really good.
Like worth noting that in Skyrim, it very much is just like rich merchants running the Thieves Guild, like Maven Blackfriar.
Which is how organized crime works, which is like why they do it that way.
Yeah.
You say a beggar told you?
Like, that's particularly how medieval organized crime works.
The beggars are the eyes and ears of the Grey Fox. He is the king of thieves in Cyrodiil. You could think of him as our guildmaster, although he would deny
I do think it's a little weird that every play style gets a
You don't look
guild.
very trustworthy. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, hang on, dude.
Is that not how it is in real life?
So, I've been spending the last few weeks reading Sheila Ogilvy's historical economic survey of medieval guilds, and I'm giving myself about 15 seconds over the course of this week to talk about it. This can't be it. I can't blow it right now.
You've got.
I mean, if not now, when?
Wait. I have a more important question. Why?
Because it's really fascinating.
That's great.
It's really fucking interesting. It's just also extraordinarily dry.
Seeking membership in the Thieves Guild.
Can you make it, like, juice it up a little bit for Mumblo?
Not a myth.
Okay.
Followers of the Grey Fox, and I am his doyen.
Give me a second to compress this.
Finding me.
Dude, let me see what is the juiciest possible pitch I can make for this.
Yes.
Okay, guilds don't exist anymore. It's what we used to have more companies. Were they good for the economy? Were they good for themselves? No, they were all snake pits and they were all fucking stupid. All of them were idiots and they were all bad for themselves and everybody else.
Would you say that these companies or guilds of ancient times were similar to startups of the present time?
I'll have it before sunrise.
No. But
in the Imperial City.
Similar problems in terms of groupthink and labor.
If you need them. One more thing.
Interesting.
You cannot kill each other.
Because, like, basically, to like give a little of the context, the whole story people have been telling about guilds for like decades in academic circles is like, so yeah, you have all these tradespeople who are banding together, and it's like that's how they fight back against the power and the hierarchy. Is that all of them band together and stick up for their rights? It's like a union. And the reality is just like, no, it was not like a union. It was basically just a monopoly. It was just a monopoly of a bunch of rich people who would all marry each other and make deals with the boss. And like, if you're talking about like historical guilds, like imagine like the Mages Guild, the Fighters Guild, they're not just like kicking money up to the king or whatever. They're also like marshaling a military in case invaders come. They're just like, yeah, we're going to draft all of our apprentices into the army.
Oh,
like Fire Emblem.
Generous. He lives in the Temple District on the far east
this
side.
This. I don't like this. I don't like this conversation.
We're
We're
reading
right
Jimmy
now.
Neutron.
This is feeling
What the
a little
fuck?
Stanley Parable right now.
It pulled back a little bit, and I actually got scared.
But, like, can you really have an Assassins or Thieves guild, is I guess my point, without having some sort of, like... unless you wanted to go high fantasy with it. Well, I mean, something like John Wick, right? Where they have sort of an internalized, fictionalized economy that sort of is a secret underground economy that works separate from, normie economies, where they use gold coins and stuff. You could come up with a fictional world where, like, a guild of people doing illicit deeds makes sense.
What is going on with the mouse controls?
Is it more like Star Wars with the bounty hunters, and the bounty hunters are always fucking killing each other, killing for fun, killing with guns, trying to kill a Jedi, doing a bad job at killing Jedi, hanging out with Darth Maul, don't really like Darth Maul. I've been reading a lot of Star Wars comics.
So if you want the heartbreaking, boring answer, it's that it's basically impossible to find any credible report of, like, any kind of organized crime of any kind before, like, the 18th century. Like, you'll find rumors and shit, or you'll find people talking about, like, oh, there's this stuff happening, but it's basically indistinguishable from just there being some bandits in an area. Like, a gang of bandits, or, like, a couple brothers who are ripping people off. Or, like, it's all, like, handshakey stuff.
Would you say that most of the high-level crime happened between royals? Like, royals cutting deals with each other,
Oh, fucking
doing that
absolutely
kind of shit?
100%.
Okay.
Like, pirates in, like, the 16th century were just bored aristocrats. Like, in the 17th century, just bored aristocrats sailing around, like, robbing other nations. And the queen's just like, oh, don't do that. I would hate if you went and robbed all of those merchant fleets from this rival kingdom that we're technically not at war with. That'd be terrible. You're not allowed to do it, and definitely give me a cut.
Nice. That's awesome. She girl bossed that, for sure.
Yep, Queen Elizabeth. Fucking...
The original
Gatekeep,
girl
Gaslight,
boss.
girl boss.
In the comments below, who's your favorite historical girl boss? Gaskeep, Gatekeep, Gaslight, Gate.
Gaslight, Gatekeep, Galleon.
If I ever get a boat, that is now going to be the name of my ship.
The Gaslight, Gatekeep, Galleon.
No, I'm gonna get a fleet. It's gonna be 3 boats, and it's gonna be Gaslight, Gatekeep, and Girl Boss are gonna be my 3 ships.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a rather interesting figure from the era of the First Crusade, called Anna Komnena, who was a Byzantine princess, daughter of the very famous Byzantine emperor Alexios Komnenos. She was a historian. Ran a hospital and tried to convince her husband to help her overthrow her brother so she could be like the actual Byzantine like Empress Regnant. Husband was not interested in doing that, did not go for it, and she ended up in like a nun convent.
Oh man. Yeah, that's how it sometimes goes.
You have returned with the diary.
Is this guy's name Armand Christophe or Armand Christophe?
Christophe.
I believe it's
the Grey Fox.
Yeah.
He has 3 rules you must
Can I go by Christophe?
Sure.
First, never steal from another member of the guild.
Christophe Francois.
Second, never kill anyone on the job.
Damn it.
This is not the Dark Brotherhood. Animals and monsters can be slain if necessary. Third, don't steal from
There's no good variations on my name.
Peasants and beggars are under the personal protection of the Grey Fox.
So all that was basically leading up to, if you're going to put a Thieves Guild in your video game, like, just make it whatever is the most fun to be part of.
Yeah, just make it fun.
As a captain of the Imperial Watch.
Have it connected to a
pursuing
deity.
personal vendetta against the Thieves Guild
Have it
and
be
the Grey
like
Fox.
internal fighting and
2 years
murder.
ago, I made a fool out of him when he tried to arrest me. Lex has
I guess what
never
I'm criticizing more is just the idea that it's this very boring one-to-one relationship of like any gameplay style you want, there's a guild for it. Just find the people doing it, and you could have a whole guild full of quests. Whereas like,
What do you want?
I like the idea instead of like things you could do in the world that make more sense, right? Like instead of a fighters guild, which like what the hell is a professional fighter? You could have some sort of like protection services, or you could have some sort of
Guild Doyen.
I guess a mage's guild makes sense, right? Because they need alchemy ingredients, they need reagents.
A quote-unquote construction company. If you get my drift.
So while I was reading the book, I was like working on like what a pseudo historical mage's guild would look like, and this is like what I'm talking about. You know why it's not fun. This is what a mage's guild looks like. You show up at the town, you're like, "Hi, I'd like to join the mage's guild," and they're like, "You can't." And you're like, what? Wait, why can't I join the Mages Guild? And they're like, well, even though you fit all of our qualifications for members, being the correct like gender and nationality and stuff, we just have too many apprentices right now, and we're trying to control the price of the mages' services. So we can't have any more wizards, or else you'll drive the price down. So no.
They give out wizard medallions like they give out taxi medallions.
Special commission?
It's that's just it. That's like literally just 100% like what it is. Like the taxi medallion system is just a modern day guild.
You're caught in the
guilds
town
were
doing
just
magic
protectionist monopolies that
and they just chase you down.
Usually enshrined in the laws of the various cities and countries that they operated in.
And then you get up, but like then they let you in, and then you do some quests, and you raise up a certain rank, and they're like, all right, we're almost ready to promote you to master. There's just one thing you got to do first. They're like, another quest. They're like, no, you need to marry someone, and it should probably be somebody who's like also like a child of someone in this guild, so that way we can strengthen the alliances between guild members, and we won't compete with each other. You're like, I just wanted to cast spells. Do you have cool magic stuff to?
I don't know.
What happened to this guy's bedroll? How is he? You can't sleep without a bed. How? What is this wizardry? How is he doing this?
Wait, what was his name?
Puny Angus.
Oh, I didn't see the C.
Does that really make it any better, Chris?
That's so mean.
I was very concerned for a brief moment there.
So
that's an effective beggar name right there.
We have been told we are not cool enough and need to steal more stuff before we can do any of the Thieves Guild quests.
Hey, whoa!
Okay.
You shouldn't sneak up on people.
Redsguard, I have a counterpoint about wizards.
Let's hear it.
So, like, when you think about, like, say, like Gandalf, for example, he's just this, like, monk, traveling priest, religious figure. So, don't you think that, like, an actual mages guild would be more... Sorry.
That's the guy we have to murder. Hang on.
Yay, murder!
Sorry to interrupt. Something just happened.
Don't you think that being a mage would actually be more like being like a priest or a monk or something like that? Like
I think that would be a more interesting way to go with it, possibly. Although I'll be honest with you, if I ended up writing this story, it would probably be the shitty guild system.
Like, for example, if you think about all of the saints from ye old times, they were always like these random ass dudes, like talking to ghosts, talking to dogs, and birds, and whatnot, writing poetry about nature, and then you would like go talk to them, and they would help you figure shit out. Would that not be a wizard's role in a world?
End up dead.
Lady,
that's
I already
a great question, and that's the kind of shit that really fascinates me whenever I sit down and like work on a D&D setting or something. My go-to answer when I'm like looking for what is a wizard, like what are wizards like, is John Dee. It's basically just like, again, kind of going back to Elizabethan times. It's just like this weird, creepy dude who just like has his skulls and his alchemy and stuff. And she's like, so you can see the future and stuff? That seems really useful to me as a queen. He's like, yes, I can see the future. She's like, well, I'm gonna...
Well, like how people... It's not real, but how people talk about like Rasputin, essentially.
Yeah. Like, like the wizards are the kept pets of the power source. Yes. And it's like you keep them close, and you keep them happy, and you throw, like, whatever, just, like, venal, earthly pleasures they require to do their mysticism and their sorceries at them. And you just trust that this will keep them complacent enough that they don't get any big ideas about what their sorcery and their power can do, or else it's off to the fucking headsman.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a different, like, kind of mage. I feel like there's the nice mages who are, like, wandering people who, like, help other folks out who are very old. They're, like, very old wandering. Gandalf types, beard types, right? And then there's the Rasputin type.
You know what that is?
The type who are like hanging out with very powerful people and doing like fucked up shit.
Good friend.
And he's like, hey, listen, I could read the future in chicken entrails, and I'll totally help you out in this war. I bet. There's a couple catches. Number one, I need 15 bad bitches weekly.
Wait.
I need a bathtub full of liquor on tap all times. And the monarch's just like, I'm not even writing this down. Just talk to my secretary.
He sells skooma.
That is essentially Rasputin, yes.
Okay.
That's all of them. That's all of them forever.
Really?
In every culture,
mine.
in every era.
Oh, hey.
Can we just like get
What?
you to leave? And
Galleon?
This hasn't even like come close to having
This better
happened.
be good.
The folly of that, of being a
You got
court
a point.
mage wizard, if,
You're
as it were,
pathetic.
is that eventually the king is going to ask you to do something that you
That's
simply
just-
cannot
yeah.
do.
You're full.
Like, for example, their
You're
bride
pathetic.
dies, and they're like, do necromancy,
You
and
got-
you're like,
No.
it wasn't supposed to turn
Sorry.
out like this.
I don't get it.
Whoops.
That's when the gig gets real. That's when you really gotta like crack
See?
your knuckles and be like,
Fairly loose,
okay, time to prove that I've got the stuff.
Rather
Exactly.
distasteful fellow, actually.
That's when you're like, oh, her spirit's just too good. That's the
That's in
thing.
the talent
She's just
Or-
too pure for
Here
the
in
sinful
Imperial
world.
City. I
Or you go find a girl who looks like her
Good day.
and teach her to be a queen, and then have her, and then be like, look, I did magic. It's really her.
Who are you?
What?
Yeah, I fucking teleported her soul into this lady.
Come on, people like that.
Alright, well, there's apparently a person in Bravo who will sell us skooma so we can lure Phalion to a place where we can murder him quietly.
Cool.
So I guess we're
now we
gonna
know.
do that.
The show's got you buying drugs now. This is illegal, Josh. I want you to know that.
Is it?
I mean, like, John D. I forget exactly what happened to him, but basically, like, what did happen is that eventually his grift just kind of caught up to him, where nobody was really buying it anymore, or nobody, like, or the people who did buy it didn't like it. They're just like, yeah, we know you're a wizard. That's fucked up, bro. It's actually, like, that's kind of problematic, because God doesn't want you to be a wizard. And then he got canceled and he died in poverty.
Aw, man. Such is the life. I feel like I really believe that wizards should be
always
written
have a fair
as
deal.
people who either live a very long time because they're so powerful, or don't live very long at all because they do dangerous shit.
Absolutely, just get instantly capped every time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm running like kind of a historical 18th century game with very minimal fantasy settings in the sort of Cepheus system where casting magic, it like casts, like it has a lot of the same spells as D&D, but instead of taking 6 seconds to cast the spell, it takes 10 minutes, and you might just like die as a result of doing
fuck,
it.
dude. That's my nightmare.
It's fucking great. It's the
That's
best.
my nightmare. I would love to be in that game, but I want to play as someone who's not magical so I can complain the whole time. Like, I have to be the one that's like guarding the wizard, essentially.
There's a person who came in as a cameo who's like just somebody who pretends to be a wizard.
Oh god.
But it basically explained the system. Like, yeah, there's like 5 wizards that you've ever heard of, and pretty much all of them are like working for some queen or king somewhere. And 90% of what they do is complete bullshit. But they also know how to do your stuff.
What do you want? May
I would love to play a character of someone who is not magical, who is their entire job is keeping this fucking wizard safe for the queen. And if they don't, they get their head chopped off.
That's just not me.
And it's like not so much a problem with demons or whatever most of the time. Most of the time it's just the wizard being an idiot.
Yeah, no, the demons are fun. That's the part that I would look forward to. Waking up in the morning, I have to fight some demons off. That's great. It's when the wizard does something stupid in the nearby town, and now I got to figure out a way to get the wizard out without people killing him.
I wrote a scenario that I never end up using for like a wizard school next to a village, where just like by the time the player characters get there, things are just like on the last fucking nerve. Everybody's like the peasants are like, I cannot, like, with these fucking wizards, like these young stupid wizards, these like 18-year-old wizards running around.
I love it.
That delicate gem seems dangerous to me. She's very skilled, but I think she's reckless.